Hello, my name is Todd FitzGerald, and I'm the priest in charge of St. John's Episcopal Church in West Hartford, Connecticut. Today I'd like to share a poem written by Lucy Shaw and an encouraging idea that the poet gives me in this poem. The poem that I'd like to share with you today is called Walking October, and we're in the end of October now. Next week is the last week of October. And I especially like the way that the poem invites the reader to think about the season of autumn, and in particular, the beauty of the season. Recently, we drove out into Western Connecticut, and I was really struck by the beauty of the colors that are out in that part of Connecticut. And about the same time that I made that trip, I was introduced to the poetry of Lucy Shaw, and in particular this volume that's called Eye of the Beholder. And I was introduced to this by another poet that I follow. His name is Malcolm Guite, and Malcolm Guite read a poem of Lucy Shaw's in a YouTube video of his recently, and that's how I discovered this slender volume and how I discovered the poem Walking October, and I want to share that with you. How to tell you what I felt this morning, stepping under the umbrella of the maple along our street. The blaze of yellow, glinting beyond belief, each leaf a lens, a magnifying glass catching sunlight in its hand. Each hand scattering the light, filtering through it onto the sidewalk. And in the gutter, 24-karat flecks of gold leaf arranged as if on purpose, and gold dust on my face. The partner down the block is copper, a pocket full of new pennies in the sun. I am awash with foliar shine, generosity gathered in an array. I print it in memory to carry with me against the dimming of the year. I love the way that Lucy Shaw writes about being arrested by the beauty of the color, being really shocked by even the canopy of maple trees on her street. And I love the way that she describes being awash in foliar shine, and describes this feeling of having gold dust on her face just because of the brightness of the yellows and the oranges and the reds of all the beautiful colors of autumn. And that is something that struck me as I was driving out into Western Connecticut, and also something that encourages me certainly to be aware of God's creation and the beauty of God's creation, but also this idea that we can take those feelings, take those images, and as Lucy Shaw says, print them in our memory to carry with us against the dimming of the year. So this notion, this idea that we can take those feelings and print them in our memory to help us against the dimming. Now, I think that a part of what she means by the dimming is certainly the darkening of the days as winter approaches, but I wonder also if she means metaphorically, dimming as we all go through periods of our lives where we're feeling anxious or fearful, or we're experiencing grief, and how all of that feels darker and it feels dim. And I find encouragement that the poet Lucy Shaw is suggesting that we might take some of those feelings and take some of those images and print them in our memory so as to have encouragement and a word of hope as we try to navigate whatever dimming might be for us. My prayer for you today is that you will find images and feelings and words that you can print in your memory against whatever dimming you may face. And I encourage you, if you'd like to check out Eye of the Beholder, because in it you might find some beautiful poems to help you against whatever dimming you might be experiencing, and might brighten whatever joy you're experiencing. God bless you.